Hey everybody, it is the start of week 5. Hard to believe we are 5 weeks into the class. And what we're going to be covering this week is we're going to be talking tomorrow a bit about Twitter and blog post structures. And then on Thursday, we've got our first field trip of the year. So tomorrow, what we're going to be doing is a quick reminder what is due at the beginning of class tomorrow. You should have your 200 accounts that you are following on Twitter. Some of you are already conquered this. It was quick and easy. Others of you, this is a little bit more difficult. But you have to reach that number partially because, as Mark Schaefer talks about in his book, The Tao of Twitter, when you hit that number, you start to get traction and people start to recognize you and interact with you on Twitter. So whether or not Twitter becomes something that you end up ultimately using a lot or not, it's a way to start seeing some of the value and testing whether or not Twitter will be of value. Now, one of the things that I've heard from a number of people is that when you start following that many accounts, you start getting a little bit lost in the weeds of so much content. So tomorrow we're going to go through and talk about HootSuite. HootSuite is a Twitter management, actually it's a social media management tool. It's very similar to TweetDeck, which is one of its main competitors. And basically what it does is it helps you start organizing your Twitter activity and your social media activity, making it more manageable to be able to know what people are talking about, who's saying what, and when and where you want to interact, and also doing things like scheduling posts and the like. So we'll be talking about that. Next thing that I want to touch base on too is we'll be talking about the blog post rubric, what Ann and I will be using to give you guys feedback on your different blog posts. It's pretty cool to see everybody has stuff up for the most part, and getting used to the slipping and the sliding and the good parts and the not so good parts of the startup of working on blogging. But the main thing is you got to start somewhere, and everybody is doing that, which is very cool. So we'll talk about how we're going to give you feedback, what the grading criteria is going to be, and then talk some about structures of good blog posts, what those look like. Then Thursday, what we have on the docket is our first field trip. So remember to get your parental permission slips so you can go on the field trip. Kidding, of course. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be meeting on the square at Dreambank, Madison. It's at right on the square at the corner of East Wash. I think it's right next to Quiznos or something like that. But we're going to be meeting with Megan Watt at Dreambank. Megan is a career coach, kind of counselor. She worked at a number of universities working with people, helping them on their career guidance, and she is fantastic with knowing how to build brand with social. She may lead into a little bit of LinkedIn, which we'll be touching on in the not too distant future, but she'll be answering a lot of the questions that we have, so I'm pretty excited about that. Plus, you guys will get to see one of the greatest free resources in Madison, provided by American Family Insurance, Dreambank. So it's going to be a very, very cool experience. So that's what's on the docket for this week. What's due tomorrow is the 200 followers. You need to be following 200 people on Twitter. I also want you to have one Twitter list, and that one Twitter list is dedicated to your 10, at least your 10 most important accounts. If you want to have a few more than that, that's cool as well. So we'll plan on seeing you tomorrow in class. Until then, have a great rest of your day.